Welcome to the Camera Dude Podcast, where we focus our lens on business. We will cover the art of business and everything in between. Join your host, Rob Moorman, a seasoned photographer and RV park owner with over 27 years of experience, as he captures insights from industry experts and fellow entrepreneurs. From mastering customer service to igniting creativity, we explore the common threads that weave through successful businesses. Get ready to click, snap, and discover on the Camera Dude Podcast.
Welcome to the Camera Dude Podcast. I'm Rob Moorman, your Camera Dude and host. Join us today as we dive into all things business and life. So let's get started. Hey, for my listeners, I wanted to let you guys know we love you. We're glad you're here. If you get a chance, share this with a friend if you would. We're working really hard to get out the message about business and life and all these great stories. So speaking of great stories, today's guest is someone I know personally through our church community. She wears many hats: mom, wife, singer, insurance professional, but above all, she's a fighter. Tracy Nicholl faced a health challenge head-on, continued to show up for her family and her work, and credits her Christian faith as a cornerstone of her victory. Tracy, welcome to the Camera Dude Podcast.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Cool. You're welcome. I'm excited to share your story and the fact that you're here. And looking at my face while we podcast is an absolute amazing miracle. So introduce yourself so that our guests know who you are. Just family, education, accolade, hobbies, whatever it is you do.
Okay, thank you. Well, I am married to a wonderful guy named Jeff. He's been in my life for 38 years. We've been married 37. We have 3 adult children. 2 girls and a boy. The girls are married and off on their own, and our son is getting close to moving out.
Is that happy or sad?
Oh, I love him so much. I will miss him, but I know it's what he needs for him, and it's healthy overall that kids eventually leave. So
yeah, time for him to grow, right?
Yes. We're going to be grandparents in a couple months, so that's going to be a new chapter. I'm so thankful for my parents are still living, and I'm very thankful for them.
Cool.
I have a sister and a brother and a lot of other family. So
that's awesome. So basically, it sounds like a really warm family setting. Who's having a baby? I know your kids. Who's having a baby?
The oldest one, Kara.
Kara. Okay. Mm-hmm. Very good. And refresh my memory. Is she in the area?
Yes. All the kids still live local. And I'm very blessed because Kara also works where I work. So we get to interact kind of in a work setting.
I don't think I knew that. I should know this because we utilize the services where you work. I'm just that way. I forget things. So, well, that's awesome. And that means you're going to be a busy grandma.
I hope so. I want to be.
I have a good friend in my networking group, May Peterson. She listens to this, and she's not a grandma. She's a glamma. That's what she calls it. So that's where you'll be at. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I love it. All right. So is there anything particular that you'd like to share? Do you have a hobby other than taking care of family, which you do so elegantly? Is there something you love to do, painting or something?
I was able to get involved in a ministry at a food pantry called Positive Impact.
Oh, wow.
And I love it. It's every Saturday we get to just help people with food. And I love food, all the things about it, eating it, cooking it, thinking about it. So it's a great fit for me. It's a way to give a practical need, doing something that I think is important.
Well, I know you like food because we all went camping a while back. And speaking of camping, I'll give a shameless plug. As everyone that listens know, Moorman Photographics is my main thing, but we also own Sunburst RV Resort. And you guys came up with us and labored and helped us paint this old mobile home and do all this. And you cooked. And that was awesome. I think we need to go back and do that again, don't you? Jeff, you in there? Yeah. All right. Jeff's here with us. So we'll throw him in every once in a while there. But yeah, we had a good time. Mm-hmm. And all 4 of us, Tina was there, and of course our dog Bailey and all that. And you made a Mediterranean dish that Tina cooks all the time now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so she picked that up from you, and I'm like, thank you. Because I do a lot of the cooking at home, but she loved that so much that she wanted to make it herself. So a couple of questions. Let's start with, business and all of that. What was your very first job as a youth?
First thing I did was, believe it or not, I helped at a fruit stand. It was an indoor fruit stand. A guy named Carlin, who's since retired.
Wow.
That was fun. I was probably 14 or 15, so child labor laws maybe weren't real enforced back then.
Was that in St. Petersburg?
Yes,
It
it
was?
was near downtown.
I don't know that I remembered that place. I was born and raised here too. Probably shopped there as a kid. Who knows?
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Well, everybody knows on this podcast that my very first job was picking up dog excrement in my neighbor's yard at 10 cents a pile. I think I was 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
And it turned into a business because all the neighbors hired me to do it. So I had enough money to buy a candy bar or something like that. I was just a kid. So how long have you been in the insurance industry?
I started in 1988.
Wow.
I had just
Got insurance? No,
I had just graduated out of high school, and I had been praying to know what to do because I really didn't think I'd go into insurance. Most of my life, I was very interested in maybe being a tax accountant or CPA of sorts.
Interesting.
And I thought working at a bank would be super fun. I wanted to be a teller. And so after in high school, I pursued some accounting classes. I worked for a couple of accountants during tax season. And then I graduated and I was able to put out 2 resumes. One was at a bank.
Wow.
And one was at the insurance company. And I prayed and I said, Lord, I don't know what my future is. You know. So open whatever door you want me to go through, close what you don't want me to do. Well, I got a call back on the insurance company and I went. I never heard from the bank. So I took the insurance job and about a year later, that bank closed.
Wow.
So clearly the Lord knew where I should be.
I agree. So you heard clearly.
Yeah.
I love that. Sometimes when we hear from him, you and I and Jeff, we all have the same beliefs. When you hear from him, it's not always audible. It's a sign.
That's
sometimes.
right.
Yeah, that's not a coincidence.
No.
I love that. So how long then? Let's see. We did that part. How long? So what do you do? What's your job title? And I remember you telling me as we talked about this podcast, but share with our listeners what it is that you do and how you hold. I'm sure you hold the whole place together in my opinion. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I love where I work. I've been there, like I said, since July of 88. I did take a 1 year off in between, but it was miserable. So I came crawling back and they thankfully took me.
Awesome.
I am a client coordinator in personal lines. So I help people with their auto insurance and homeowners and wind and flood and those sorts of things.
So are you connecting? So we use the services. And by the way, tell my listeners, where is it that you work?
Oh, the name is WWW Insurance. We were formerly known as Wallace, Welch, and Willingham. We have been in business for a really long time, located right now in downtown St. Petersburg, which is a great venue. Yeah.
It's fun. I'll bet being in downtown, you can walk and go to lunch and go all these cool places downtown. Yeah, I'm jealous. If I had it to do over again, I would have put my studio in that area. But this one's paid off, so I'm not moving. Not going to do that again. But, well, that's good to know. That's a long time. And I'll let my guests know, in case they're looking for insurance, that Moorman Photographics, Rob and Tina Moorman, we're customers.
Yeah.
So you guys cover a lot of stuff for us, including this business that we're sitting in and this equipment we're talking on, actually. So that's a good thing. Well, what motivates you to get out of bed each morning and hit that ground running?
Well, I really like accomplishing things. And I really love helping people. And I want to make a difference. I want my life to count more than just running on a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
So doing something productive, I guess that's good.
I would say a year and a half of podcasts now. The main thing I hear is just that, but it's all positive. Most people want to get out. And yes, they need to make a living and pay their bills and all of that, but they want to make it an impact in the community that they work in and help individuals. And that's what you're doing. So in a way, work is work. There's a paycheck, but it's also ministry.
Oh, yeah.
It might be someone's insurance needs, but what if they're stressed out and worried?
Definitely.
And they call and get you and you take care of them. Are you do you actually write the insurance documents, or are you connecting them with people in the office?
Yeah, I don't sell the policies.
Okay.
I do the servicing and counsel, going over policies, making changes, education, research. So I'm not huge on sales, but I love to work with people.
Cool. So when you say counsel, someone cries because they've had an issue and everything's missing now.
It's been close. There's, those hurricanes that happened a couple years ago. There were such heartbreaking stories, and yeah, that was a tough time to be in insurance, but also to be a person affected by the storm.
We have talked about those hurricanes several times here. Many of my guests were affected by that. Lost homes, lost cars, automotives. Luckily, they're all alive, which is most important. But it's still stressful to be displaced. And so there was so much of that. And I know you saw that end of it through church. We got to help the Samaritan's Purse go and gut homes. And also I really saw the aftermath. Those folks that live on the beach really took a beating. I've never seen water inside a home do what it did to the homes door. It was amazing. Anyhow, that's another insurance conversation at some point.
Well, you might remember that you and Tina were so kind. You let us stay at your resort, your RV resort, right after Hurricane Milton came through. And the funny thing is, the town is in Milton, and Hurricane Milton had just come through, or was about to come through. Actually, we were there, and I was taking claims remotely and trying to help people. And your RV park was such an oasis for us. It was
a blessing.
It was quiet and peaceful in nature and mostly unaffected.
I'm supposed to be the one that makes people cry on my podcast, but you're turning that around. Well, I'm glad that you could go to the mobile home mansion, is what I call it.
Yeah.
And sit in the beautiful woods there. And hey, we'll give a plug. If you're in Milton, Florida, you did a lot of work on location within Milton at Mama's Latte's Coffee House.
She's wonderful. Her name is China.
Yep.
She runs that shop. The food there is really good. Her presence is so sweet and wonderful. It's just a great place over there.
I giggle because I'm a coffee fiend, and that's how I found them initially. But then you meet the people, fall in love with them. Sunburst RV Resort is their number one distributor to contributor to their Facebook page.
Oh.
So kind of the neat thing, we're always getting that number one contributor badge, that Facebook gives you. So, all right, well, let's look at another question. What advice would you give someone just starting out in the insurance industry? Because the insurance industry itself is a tough business. And for my listeners, don't go away yet. Hang out, because we're going to get into the heart of this and talk to you about what Tracy went through. But it's also a business and life podcast. So we're doing a little bit of business up front, and then we'll jump into this life story here in a minute. But what would you tell someone just getting started? What do they expect? How would they?
The first thing that comes to mind is insurance has a lot of different ways you can be involved. So different personality types are going to find a place. You might start out like in the department I'm in and find out that you're better suited for a group, or a commercial venture.
Right.
So if you don't like something, there's room to grow and room to move. And then something else that I thought of is, when you're helping clients, and of course I'm in personal lines, so it's more personal, you get a chance to make an impact, which does matter. These people are trusting you. So you get to use your skills, whatever you're good at, and you get to translate that into helping somebody in a practical way. And I just find it so rewarding. So
awesome. So be prepared if you're in the insurance industry. There's a lot of paperwork, but you're also helping people. And so the effort is always worth it in the long run to see people benefit from what you offer. I love that. It's kind of like someone that does investments and they help people grow their revenue and all of that. All right, final question here, and we'll jump into the rest. If you could go back and talk to the younger Tracy Nicholl, what would you tell her, especially after all that you've been through?
Yeah. I would say that God has given you everything you need for the time you need it, and to keep your eyes on Him. And I'm sure we'll talk about this more, but when I look back at what I went through, the character qualities I needed and the firm foundation I needed came from younger times of my life, good times and bad times. Those things equipped me to be able to handle the hard thing that came later.
Well, that's it. That's everything we need. We could wrap this podcast up right now because you just nailed that. That was awesome. Well, that's good to hear. I think I would just tell a young Rob Moorman to calm down, pay attention, because here I am older and man, it went fast.
It does go fast.
That's awesome. All right. So you had a personal health journey, and I want you to be comfortable with this and share. And our goal is, not to harp on every detail that you went through, but to really let people know who you are and the battle you fought. Because my thoughts are, listeners, if you're going through something right now or a family member is, even if it's not the same something, but it's tough, I think the resilience that you're about to hear is probably going to blow your mind because it blows mine. So let's do that. I'm going to read right out of it here. Let's talk about a personal health journey you've been on to help others who may be facing something difficult, health-related or otherwise. So you've shared that your Christian faith played a huge role in getting through this. I've personally witnessed you, the family, and the entire church coming together in faith and prayer. What did that look like in real life for you? And first, actually, let's back up. Share the beginnings of your story. And then I want to hear that question.
Okay. So approaching the age of 50, I was encouraged to get a colonoscopy. Right around that time, COVID hit. So it was 2020. And it was very difficult to get an appointment. I really didn't think I needed. I'm not much of one at all to harp on my health. I just mostly have been healthy. And so I've not ever given it a lot of thought. And it was difficult to get an appointment, so I just kind of pushed it off. The doctor, as they often do at a follow-up, said, let's try it again next year. And I kicked the can down the road.
Uh-oh.
And then another doctor pointed out, hey, you should use my doctor, my gastroenterologist. And I thought, I don't know that your doctor is going to be on my cheapy little HMO that I have, but I'll give it a whirl. And lo and behold, he was. And I went to meet him, and I had been having some symptoms. To me, I thought they weren't a big deal because to me, hardly anything in my health was ever a big deal. But as I started talking to him about that, he looked at me and said, that's not normal. And those words arrested my heart. I thought, oh, maybe this is serious. And I gave him more symptoms, and he looked at me almost in shock. He was like, that's not normal. So twice in a row. And I thought, oh, maybe I should be taking this serious. So he, by the way, his name is Dr. Bon Toms. I love him. Love him. He's in St. Petersburg, the best.
Okay.
So I went, had the colonoscopy, but I didn't have the colonoscopy. I went through all the prep work, and, it was great. Everything was fine. And I came to, and I said, so doctor, how'd it go? And he said, we weren't able to do it. And I was mad because I like to eat, and I had to starve for a whole day and go through all that prep work.
Yeah.
That actually was the first thing on my mind. I was irritated that I had gone a day without eating. But he said, we weren't able to do it because you have a tumor, and it's so large, we could not get the camera past the tumor to even do the exam.
That's hard, especially just coming out of all of that. You're a little groggy and all from the medicine. Share that emotion right then and there. Were you in the room? Was Jeff with you?
No, okay. He was, this was coming out of recovery.
Okay, so he's waiting. Okay.
And he has quite a story of his own to share on that. But for me, I just thought, okay, what do we do? I didn't feel afraid. I wasn't scared. I just thought, all right, well, what's the next step? And he said, well, you're going to have surgery to remove it because it could burst. That could be a problem.
Wow.
And I wasn't afraid. I thought, okay, gosh, I've never had a surgery. Here I am, over 50, and lots of friends and family have had surgeries, and I never did. So instantly I went to a mode of being curious and willing to do it and just ready to go.
Okay. So you were prepped. First, you're kind of shocked and worried, and then you jumped in. Not that worried. You think,
Yeah, I wasn't worried.
Okay. You have that, because me, I would have been in complete panic. That's how I am. I'm going to read the question again. So you find this out, and as church friends and family do, sometimes we bond more than our own family, very much so. And so you shared that your Christian faith played a huge role in getting you through this. Excuse me. I personally witnessed you, your family, and the entire church coming together in faith and prayer. What did that look like in real life for you? Tell us about that warm embrace that I watched it happen. It's incredible.
Yeah. So if I fast forwarded some, it was as we would reach out to family and friends, there were a lot of mixed responses. Everybody was loving, for sure. Some people were instantly worried for me. Very worried for me. Other people came alongside and said, you got this.
Cool.
And I think everybody has their own journey. They're coming from their own perspective on it, and they are going to support you in the way they feel like you need support. As far as how I felt, it was just, I have a very, very strong thought of God and who he is. And to me, he is sovereign Lord of all. And because he is sovereign, there's nothing outside of his power.
I love that.
And because he is a good God, he's loving. And when I combine those two things, that he knows everything, he's aware and able to handle anything, and he loves me, I had no worry. I was at peace because I knew he had me and would be with me.
So your peace came from the Lord. And for anybody listening, let's say let's go slightly off and just see what you have. So let's say someone's going through something. I have a broad spectrum. I can't speak today. A broad spectrum of listeners. So maybe someone's not a believer yet, but you found hope and peace in the living God. And so share even a little bit more about that. Just whatever you think you would to help that person that's listening now. If they've never done it before, where can they start? Where can they go to find that peace? What do they do? It's kind of a tough question. But
Well, a good place is in the owner's manual, and that would be the Bible.
I love that.
If you don't know where to start, the book of Psalms has a lot of great encouragement in there. If you're going through something hard, there's probably a good scripture in there that's going to come alongside.
Well said.
That's a good step.
I've heard the acronym, if you will, Bible Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth, BIBLE. And I agree with you. Sure, there's things in there that we all misunderstand or discuss and see differently. But overall, it's that living word that gave you that peace. And that's really cool. So you did all of this. I have in my notes, prayer during the hardest moments, trusting God when outcomes were uncertain, scriptures, worship, or habits that carried you. Let's talk about that. Is there a particular scripture or a worship or a habit that carried you through this the most, something that maybe you went to time and time again?
Yeah, definitely a couple scriptures. And, I don't think I even said when they took the biopsy from the tumor.
Yeah.
And when I met back with the doctor, and this was a whirlwind, like days, not weeks, days. He had brought us in the office and he said, well, we've got the results back and you have cancer, colon cancer. And he said it's stage 4. And I knew nothing about cancer other than the word cancer. So I said, well, how many stages are there? And he said 4. And I went, oh. For Jeff, my husband, that was like the worst news ever. It was
Sure.
much
To use his words, it's his wifey.
Yes, that was his wifey. It was so painful and difficult for him. But to me, I thought, okay, what do we do about it?
Right.
And as, the doctor talked about what might be coming, I had some moments, some epiphanies in there that, what, this may be bigger than me and I may not be able to just skip and hop through it. We had some moments of tenderness of just saying, if this is it, let's live every day to the best we can.
I love that.
But at the end of it, when it was all said and done, I thought, well, let's get going. Who do I meet? Where do I go?
I think towards the end of this, let's talk about that. Because I would imagine after we get through everything you've been through, you still want to live every day as if it's the last, because you've seen so much and gone through so much and basically been right on the edge. And so that's a lot. All right, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, Sunburst RV Resort.
Are you ready to escape the hustle and bustle of the city and experience a taste of old Florida? Welcome to Sunburst RV Resort, your oasis nestled in tranquil woods and surrounded by picturesque farmland. At Sunburst, we offer modern amenities with a touch of rustic charm. Enjoy our 2 pools, our clubhouse, our game room. It's perfect for families and winter guests seeking refuge from everyday life. With full RV sites and hookups, cozy cabins, and spacious tent sites, there's something for everyone. Whether you're a snowbird seeking solace or a family looking for summer fun, Sunburst is your destination for peace, quiet, and country living. And the best part? We're just an easy country hour away from beautiful beaches and a few minutes away from the majestic Blackwater River. Explore nearby quaint towns, indulge in some shopping, and savor delicious meals at local restaurants just a scenic drive away. Escape to Sunburst RV Resort and make memories that'll last a lifetime. Book your stay now and experience the beauty of old Florida.
Awesome. What is the scripture that you went to? You have a particular one?
Yeah, there's a couple, and maybe we'll share different ones as we go. But one of the first ones that really grounded me in faith, and I think anybody can take this scripture and make it your foundation, is Psalm 139, verse 16. And it says, "You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed." And what that means to me is, because God is sovereign, He knows every single day what you're going to go through. It's not going to surprise Him. Like this diagnosis surprised us. It didn't surprise Him. He knew it was coming.
Well put.
And because every day is already written, I didn't have to worry about, am I going to survive? We're all going to leave this earth at one point. I don't know when that would be, but I thought, well, I'm not going to worry about it, and I'm not going to be afraid. Whatever it is, it's already been written out in a book somewhere. And so I'm just going to live the pages in between.
I love that. Well, in my anxious ways, even though I know the same Lord, little ADHD, anxious, nervous person, I would have panicked. But you turned to where we're supposed to, who we're supposed to, and you dove into the Word, which really brought peace, as they say it does. And watching you go through that, actually both of you for that matter, go through that was a lesson for me. I think everybody around you in the church family grew because of this, what you went through and who you are and how you handled it. It's miraculous. It just is. It really is. So, all right, that's awesome. So let's take a look here. One thing that stood out for me the whole time is you kept going, not just every day, but you kept going to work. You continued to work from home if you had to. You went to get treatments. You carried on caring for your children. Now they're older, but when I say caring for them, supporting them in their lives and all that they're doing. And Jeff over here, you were calming him down the whole time. We were calming him down the whole time, which is understandable, by all means. But talk about that a little bit, because you were rowing that boat upstream no matter what the storm was. It's fascinating. And, tell us how also you did that.
Well, as I was thinking it over, from the time that I didn't have the colonoscopy until the time I got the diagnosis, our daughter was graduating. So we had a graduation ceremony. Shortly after, many months after that, she got married. So there was all of that. And there's so many stories and all of that. But yeah, that was going on. And then Jeff was running me everywhere. There were appointments. Some weeks we had an appointment almost every weekday. It was crazy. And my work, they were amazing, so flexible. They would let me, like I would clock in from my desk at home and I would work, and I would clock out and go take a treatment and come back and clock in and work.
Wow.
And that would happen every other week for months. And that was just for treatments. There were other appointments and multiple surgeries. And in between surgeries, they did make me get a doctor's note before I could go back. But as soon as I got clearance, I was working. And working to me was peace of mind. And it also made me feel normal, because when you're going through things, whether it's cancer or whatever difficulty in your life, you can kind of start feeling like a victim.
Mm-hmm.
And you love the support you get from everybody. It's so important. But also, some people might make you feel like pity. And I don't like pity. And I don't want to be a subject of pity. So this was like me standing on my own 2 feet, doing a job I knew what to do, helping people. So the routine of it, and also getting my eyes off myself and not focusing on how terrible maybe I was feeling or unsure about things or any of the other, so many things that goes on when you have a medical journey or emotional journey.
So your work was a blessing.
It's such a blessing.
Because it kept you focused. It gave you purpose, physical human purpose here on earth. You're still giving back. And it gave you a sense of normalcy.
Yes.
In between all of the madness, if you will. I could see that. Well, come over to Moorman Photo and run the office here. Okay. I love that. Well, tell me a little bit more. You went through all of this, and it's a lot. For some listening who's facing a cancer illness or a life-altering challenge, what would you want them to hear? They've already heard a lot, but we have things like hope, faith, taking things one day at a time, trusting God even when answers don't come immediately. What do you have to share on that?
I think as long as you're on this side of the dirt, you're alive, then you have hope. When the doctor, and maybe we'll get into this later, but when we met with the oncologist and he gave us a treatment plan, my curious husband wanted to know what my prognosis was. And I don't know if you want to go into that, but
Sure.
Okay.
Tell what you're comfortable with.
I kind of didn't really care whatever he was going to say, but out of curiosity, it would have been interesting. The doctor is an amazing doctor, and he didn't want to just throw out numbers or anything. And so he said, well, it can depend. But my husband kept pushing. And so he said, well, in this situation, which, by the way, the cancer, even though I had the tumor, a very large tumor in my colon, it had metastasized to my liver. Mm-hmm. That's really where the biggest problem was, because they got the cancer. It was just one tumor, believe it or not. It was huge, but it was just one. They got that out of my colon. Everything was fine. It was a liver. It was all over my liver. Wow. I had so many surgeries trying to get it out. But early on, the doctor said, your chance of survival, if you don't do anything, is 6 to 9 months.
Wow.
And as soon as he said it, and I mean this by no disrespect to him, but I thought, without even contemplating, the first thought was, you don't know my God.
Amen.
It just came to my head like, okay. Then my second thought was, you don't know me. Yeah. Then I thought, you don't know what this medicine will do to my body, the chemo. And I thought, this isn't my only option. And those 4 things popped to my head before I even had a chance to even think, oh, is this logical? Or, oh, consider all the facts. It's just where I stood. And I don't mean that, please. No disrespect to my doctor. He's amazing. And he only said those things because Jeff really pushed. The other thing they said is if I were to take chemo, my chance of survival would be 2 years or maybe 3.
Okay.
They said that because it had gone to my liver, they could not do radiation because the radiation is so powerful it would damage the liver. The liver can't take it.
Okay.
And it would do more damage to the liver than the cells in the liver. And I was not a candidate for liver transplant because after you have a transplant, you have to be on this anti-rejection medicine pretty much the rest of your life. Well, that medicine feeds cancer cells. And in prior cases where people have done it, they've gotten worse cancer and their life ends pretty quick. So my only options were to do nothing, to try to do something holistic on my own, to do the chemo. But he said that was palliative care. I think that's a word. It's, it'll extend your life, but it will never cure me. He made it clear that would never cure me. And then another option would be surgery. And so with that in mind, I thought, okay, well, we'll do the chemo and we will do surgery and we will see what God has to say about all this.
We know what he has to say.
Yeah.
He absolutely does. Well, and so you had the surgery, which was pretty intense, so you don't have to share all of it, but you had multiple surgeries. They took out a part of your
they
liver
took out the left side. They let it grow, which was a crazy thing. I kept thinking of a lizard tail, how they might come off sometimes and then they grow back. So they took out the left side of my liver. They did an immobilization to starve the blood flow on the right side so they could shrink it some. Once the left side of the liver grew back, they took out the right side. The right side is typically the bigger side of a liver. And then a couple of the early surgeries were laparoscopic. The third one, the one where they took out the right side, that was an open surgery. And boy, is there a difference. But the healing difference in the laparoscopic.
I remember that for you, by the way. And speaking with Jeff about it, we talked for a while every day. So that, just because sometimes the caretaker doesn't get any support. The beautiful thing about the church body is we try to surround everyone and help. So that's really good. But let's kick it up a notch. So where are you today?
So I just had a CAT scan and follow up. I am cancer free.
Yeah.
100%.
Rock on. I love that. God is good.
They consider you being cancer free when the last sign of cancer is in your body. So that would have been the most recent surgery was September 14th of 2023. Okay. So I'm 2 years plus. According to our oncologist, this would be the time if it's coming back, 2 to 3 years.
Good.
He mentioned that if we were to make it to 5 years, then that would be pretty much we're over it. And my chances of having cancer would be just like anybody else.
Very good.
Yeah.
Praise God.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know your God, or at least he didn't know what he could do. And now he does. What does your doctor say? Have you had a chance to kind of share all that with him? And
He does think it's pretty amazing. And I think he had told me he'd only ever sent somebody over for this double liver resection one other time. It's pretty rare. It's an intense surgery. We went over to Tampa and I loved our surgeon, Dr. Kara Christos. He was actually from another state and then he moved to Florida. Oh. He's the chief surgeon of oncology at Tampa General, and he's the professor at USF there, like the lead professor. So,
and that's not by luck that you got him.
No,
of course not.
No, and he was the one who looked me in the eye and said, "We can do this."
Wow.
Like he was the one who really helped us to have the hope. The funny thing is, I told you earlier, my daughter's name is Kara.
Yeah.
And this was Kara Christos. So Kara means beloved, and Christos is for Christ. And so when we found out it was Dr. Kara Christos, it was like, okay, he's the one.
This is the doctor.
He's
Wow.
the one. Yeah.
That too isn't a coincidence, but
No.
that's God talking to you again. I love that. Well, I'm grateful you're here. I know Jeff is grateful you're here, because if you weren't here, I'd have to babysit him. And wow, he's for those of you, because he's not on a mic, he's back there laughing. But the truth is, no, God is good, and we're excited to share this story. It's kind of the first type of story on the Camera Dude podcast that we've done. It's always been mostly business with a little life, but I'm trying to lean into both. So thanks for sharing that. This is the fun part. So, but before we do the fun part, do you have anything else you want to share about that? Or maybe, we started to ask that. What would you tell somebody that just got some sort of bad news?
For me, I think it's so important to surround yourself by people. Going through this cancer journey, there were many, many visits in the infusion center. And I saw people there that were lonely and alone. And it seemed as if it was harder on them than those who had support. So I did not keep my journey a secret at all. From the very beginning, I told anyone who would listen, and I asked for prayers from anyone who would pray.
Awesome.
My daughter, Callie, our second daughter, she set up a Facebook page for me where I could post recovery. The funny thing is she started it out and would post things, and I would say, hey, can you put this on? Can you put that on? Eventually I just took it over and I started writing mini chapters, segments of things I went through, some of the good stuff, some of the hard stuff. It was so cathartic. Is that the word?
Yeah.
I was able to express all the things in my head, in my life.
And it was probably a release.
It was wonderful.
More than cathartic. It was probably a release for you. So I don't know if this is right. Is the page still there? So people could find you and read your story a little bit there?
Yeah.
Is it okay to tell them? If you want to, tell them now, the listeners, where to find us. So it's a Facebook page?
Yeah. It's open to the public.
Okay.
It's Tracy Nicholl Recovery, I think. Tracy Nicholl Recovery. We're
going to look it up. Yeah.
And my name is spelled TracyNicholl.
See, she's looking at me because I misspelled it on the script that I made for today.
It's okay.
Well, I misspell everything. I always have.
Okay. It's called Tracy Nicholl Recovery Updates.
Awesome. So somebody going through something.
Yeah.
I'm going to start crying. It just hit me. Somebody going through something can go all the way to the beginning of those posts and read everything, and they're going to find hope and see all those that have supported you there and all of that. So let's do that. You just open the door to somebody in a really big way.
Please read it. I would love it to help. There's one of the sections on there that there's so many things I really resonated with, but one of them I would love to encourage all your listeners. And I titled it, Why Not Me? And it's a section where so many people go through a hard thing and they say, why me? Why is this happening to me? And I thought that one day, not in despair, just the comment why people say it. And I thought, why not me? Who am I different than anybody else? And pretty much everyone I know is going through or has gone through something hard. It could be medical, could be financial, could be work, could be relational, emotional. We all, as humans, are going to go through a hard thing. And so when you go through it, you can't look at it like, oh, why is this happening to me? I've been a good person. Or, I took the high road on this or whatever. We're all going to go through it. And if we make that our focus, we're going to have a downward spiral. Instead, we say, you know what? Other people have done this. Other people have gone through it. I am special, sure, but in all of humanity, I am a human, and this is just what's in front of me to walk through, and I will walk through it. and other people have walked through it. I can do this.
You rock. You really do. You're like a rock star. I can say that. So I'm glad you shared that, and you gave a lot of hope through a God that gives hope, but also you didn't give up. So there's some of that that's you. Your resiliency, your ability to push back is incredible to me. We're going to have fun now.
Okay.
So we have some words that I put together. I like to give credit where they're due. Bernard Pivot and James Lipton. Bernard Pivot wrote these, and I don't actually know a lot about him. I keep threatening to Google all this and figure it out. I haven't done it yet. James Lipton was inside the actor's studio. You would see him a lot interviewing famous people, and I watched that show constantly. I loved the way he interviewed, and I think I've probably learned a lot just from watching the show. Neither of them are with us anymore. They've left Earth. But I took out one question because it was supposed to be, what's your favorite curse word? And I thought, I don't want that explicit sticker. Although it's kind of fun. Someone as nice and sweet and Christian as you are, everybody still has one, no matter what. If it really goes bad and you hit your thumb with a hammer, but I don't want to hear what it is. All right. What is your favorite word?
Mercy.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. What is your least favorite word?
Deserve. I don't feel like we deserve anything. I think you earn it. I don't think you deserve it.
Okay, we could close the podcast again. That was pretty deep in just one word. All right, what turns you on in life?
Helping other people, encouraging people.
I love that. That's powerful too. What turns you off in life?
Hate and people not giving other people mercy when they're going through a hard time. When it's so easy to point out faults in everybody else, and you have your own faults. So I don't like that at all.
I'm with you. And I always believe that it's not our job. As Christian, it's our job to love on everyone, even if we don't disagree, even if we disagree with something in their life, we're not the judge. So we love on them the way he loved on us and brought us to him, right? It's the same thing. I like that. All right. What sound or noise do you love?
I like rain, real gentle rain.
I don't know that I've had that on the podcast. Yeah. That's nice. All right. Do you drink pina coladas and walk on the beach with Jeff as well and walking in the rain or whatever that song is? No. All right. I guess not. What sound or noise do you dislike?
When people are angry and they're yelling.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the sound, even if I agree with them, people protesting and shouting across this. I hate the division and dissension and the buildup of all that. So that's kind of what you're talking about. I think I can't stand it either. Yeah. I actually cry. I went down to photograph one once just to photograph it because it's history. Agreed or not, it's history. I'm photographing it. And I actually started to cry right there because I saw all the anger and all of this. And I'm like, the God we just talked about, he's got it under control. We just don't know it. So then we get fired up. All right. So let's see. What sound or noise? We did that. What profession other than your own would you like to try?
Maybe nutrition. I'm really interested in that, or even counseling. I think that would be a good field.
I used to think about counseling a lot growing up as to whether or not I would be able to do that for others. As you know, we did prison ministry, and I got to counsel that way with a lot of guys and loved every second of that, to see their heart open and change. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm going to do a shameless plug before the next question. We have a nutritionist on. The last episode that dropped was Liat Golan. I recommend going to listen to her. She owns Be Well Nutrition. She's my nutritionist. So she's helped me lose 31 pounds and energy and get my mojo back and all of that. So, so listeners, check that out. And for you, Tracy, check it out. I think you'll really like her. She's from Israel. Really cool person. So I love giving her a plug. And, people that help you, you have to love them. You're like, oh, thank you. Even though I'm paying her, it goes so far beyond. Yeah, she
cares.
She's actually real about it. Yeah. All right. So what profession would you never want to do?
Anything that has high pressure sales.
Yeah. Used car salesman. I like sales, but when they're done right and you're not pushy and you see where it's going to help someone, that's different. But to just buying a car on a car lot is my worst nightmare. I cannot damn, you walk on the lot and 20 guys are around you and they're following you in between the cars. And it's terrible. I'm like, and then when you go to buy it, it's like a 5-hour process. Like, it's just a car. Get me out of here in 2 hours, please. So, all right, I have more rapid fire.
Okay.
That actually, those are the real ones, the Bernard Pivot, James Lipton. But Mr. AI helped us out with a couple as well. What's your favorite worship song?
There are so many, but I really like the one by Cody Carnes, I think it is, Firm Foundation.
Yes, that is a good song. You're right. I forgot the name of the artist, but yeah, Cody Carnes, right?
I think so.
I hear it all the time, but my ADHD, I hear the music, I don't pay attention to who wrote it. Morning or evening prayer?
I mostly pray in the morning. That's my devotion time with the Lord. I like to do it while I go for a walk. So it helps me physically and spiritually to be in shape.
I love it. All right. The number one answer was both. But hey, we'll take the
Yes. Yeah, I will. It's really all through the day, but that's like the devoted time of quiet.
Yeah. It is. And I think in the morning, it's hard for me. Businesses and podcasts and all this exciting. Like, I got to get out of here and go do stuff. So I only do a 10-minute time, but it's better than none.
Oh, yeah.
And but it's centering. I find it very centering to go, okay, I'm actually not in control. Somebody else is. And, and it brings me to the Lord. All right. Next question. Beach day or quiet time at home?
Quiet time at home. I am a homebody.
All right. With a book?
Oh, I love a book. Sometimes cooking, or I guess those are the main things.
Watching movies with Jeff?
Oh,
I know you guys do a lot of movies.
Yeah, we do a lot of movies, yes.
I love movies. One word that carried you through?
Well, you won't be surprised when I say it. It's the word sovereignty.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Actually, there's nothing else to say. It speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to close. We are at our time. I would love to stay longer, and maybe we'll do this again. So that would be great. Before we close, do the company you work for a plug. You're welcome to do that. That's what this is about. So how do they find www? It was Wallace, Welch, and Willingham. What's the full new name? Just
WWW Insurance LLC.
Okay.
We are now part of IMA, which is a pretty large agency. I think maybe one of the 8th largest in our nation.
Wow.
So it really expanded from beyond St. Pete to out west and all over.
That's because you work there.
Yep, that's what did it. No.
I love it.
So it's a great insurance agency. They have a lot of markets for commercial insurance, all kind of businesses there. They have a real large department for employee benefits.
Wow.
Corporations and such. And then the department I'm in is personal lines. We also have one of the largest boat insurance divisions, our marine division, one of the largest on this side of Florida. And we have other services like life insurance and such, but those are the main ones.
Well, I'm going to podcast my way into a mini yacht, and then you guys will cover, okay?
Yeah.
But I'll take some of that money and help others first, I promise. Okay. But yeah, that's just a lifelong yearning to do the Great Loop in a little boat and come back around. I don't know if I'll ever do that, but it sure sounds cool.
Yeah.
What's the website?
It might have changed.
All right, we're going to look it up. And I can put it in the show notes if you can't find it quickly while we're going. I'm blessed that you're here. Jeff, I'm glad you're here. We're actually all shutting down the podcast in a minute. We're all going to go to dinner and hang out and do what church friends do. We eat together constantly and play together and do all of that. And so that part I'm excited about. We'll give a plug. We're going across the street to one of St. Pete's hidden gems. It's the Stone Soup Cafe. I highly recommend going over there. It's in walking distance from my studio here, and they have great food. So if you're in St. Pete, you can do that everywhere. All right. Okay. So what's the website?
It's w3ins.com. So W3, I like igloo, N like November, S like Sam.com.
Oh, you definitely work at a desk. I love that.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to do that. I recommend them. First of all, my friend works there, but also we've been with you guys a long time before I knew you.
Yeah,
you were with
before
us,
we knew each
and
other.
you were there.
Yeah.
So they provide great service. Whenever we need an insurance writer to show up for, as a photographer, if we go do a job at the Vinoy Hotel or whatever, we have to have an insurance writer showing that we're covered on their location. And you guys do all of that as well for us. And so it works out well. Anything else?
I just want people to feel encouraged. Life is hard sometimes. Recently, I've been thinking about the scriptures that talk about our lives are short. We're really just a mist. We're here for a little while and then we're not. So don't sweat the small stuff. Love people, give them mercy. Don't give up. When you quit, there's no more hope. But as long as you don't quit, regardless of what somebody tells you, your chances are there's still hope. And one of the main things that I really liked going through all this was perspective.
Right.
And you can look at a situation and hear a statistic and say, okay, this is the statistic. Both sides can be true. You may have a such and such prognosis or for health or for not health or success in a business or whatever you're doing. So both could be true. So why not focus on the good one? If both can be true, why do you want to focus on the bad one and put all your energy there? Regardless of the statistic, I don't care if it's 95% to 5%, there's a 5% chance. So somebody is going to do well. And why not let that be your focus?
We could just cut everything else out and just stay on that again. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that. What a blessing. All right, let's go. Guys, for our listeners, if you like what you hear, hang out with us and subscribe. I'm not going to hound you. I'm glad to do it. This podcast is about business by a professional photographer who's got 30 years under his belt. And somehow 11 years ago, I ended up owning an RV park. So it's two businesses in two different worlds. But we also talk about life as we did here. So come in, find mercy, find peace, find business acumen, find knowledge. That's what we're about. Thanks for hanging out with us on the Camera Dude podcast. Always remember to reach out to those who have paved the way ahead of you. They're an incredible resource. Until next time, stay safe, be peaceful, and always look up for direction in life. Catch you on the next episode of the Camera Dude podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to the Camera Dude Podcast. Don't forget to visit us at cameradudepodcast.com for more episodes and exclusive content. Connect with Rob Moorman on moormanphoto.com to explore his professional photography. And when you're ready to hit the road, make memories at sunburstrvresort.com. Until next time, keep capturing moments and chasing dreams. See you on the next episode of the Camera Dude Podcast.